Hi, I'm Natasha Wilkes from High Performance Vets. Today we have another mindset tip. What we're going to talk about is your veterinary income. This is quite a big issue for most veterinarians. We basically graduate with a significant student debt, and the income sometimes isn't what we expect it should be, or we thought it would be before we graduated. So the question you need to ask is, do you know what determines your income? Have you ever sat down and asked your employer what they use to determine what you're being paid? Now, I can tell you there are a number of factors. One of the major factors is, what is your turnover? There's a rule of 5 at the moment, and it usually means that your income is a fifth of your turnover. Now, there is variations in this depending on how many support staff are employed by the practice. Usually the more support staff means that may be less than 20%. If there's less support staff, it may be a little bit more. It does depend. Also in Australia, usually GST is added as well, so you need to be aware of that. For the UK, I must admit, I'm not 100% sure with regard to VAT. So your turnover does determine your income. Another thing that determines your income is your experience. Obviously, new and recent grads will not have the same salary compared to highly experienced vets, because highly experienced vets usually can cope with a larger workload. They've more variety in what they can do. They're usually responsible for managing a team as well, and they're capable of working sole charge. Another thing is client satisfaction. It can be all well and good to be an incredible veterinarian with great knowledge, but if clients really aren't the keenest on you, or you have a high number of complaints, then that certainly will affect your employer's perception of you, and it certainly will contribute to maybe not having the pay increases or the salary increases that you were hoping for. We've already talked about the size of the practice and the number of support staff. Another thing is what your employer thinks. Now, what I mean by that is employers, sometimes they're just working really hard in practice and they're not aware how things can change with regard to salaries. So they may offer a salary that is lower than what is the going rate. And what I mean by the going rate is what everybody else is being paid at the moment. It can be if you've got a vet who is from an older generation that just can't fathom paying associates a significant amount of money because they were never paid that, or they may not even be earning that income themselves. So these are the things that you need to consider. Also is your ability to negotiate your salary. Did you negotiate your salary? Do you know how to? Or have you just always taken what you've been offered? Something to think about. So that's your income tip for today. Have a look at what determines your income, because when you recognize that and you're aware of that, and you know what your boss and your employer is using to determine your income, then what you can do is you can play with those. You can increase your turnover. You can maybe ask for benefits instead of a wage increase if you would like more time off, or paid CPD or something like that. But once you know, then it makes it so much easier to know what you have to do going forward to increase the number. I hope you enjoyed today's mindset tip. I'm Natasha Wilkes from High Performance Vets. Have a fantastic day.